NoBoBuMe. Hello and welcome to another edition of NoBoBuMe. That stands for Nobody But Me. I am Bryan M. Bowden, Sir Bryan for a lot of people that are here to watch it. We're streaming live on Inside the Goblin Universe on our YouTube page. Please like and subscribe. It helps us out. It helps to get you notifications when we go live. And we're really set. This is going to be, I'm going to say it's a magical show because it's about magic and manifestation and some more. But before we start, we always have to do these crazy things. And it's our disclaimer that nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers or the live streamer do differ considerably and don't reflect the opinion of NoBoBuMe, Nobody But Me, the show, the host, and its guests. You should always do your own research. Don't take anybody's word for it. Do your research and you consult with a professional. And because the internet's filled with fake news and fake people and charlatans, please take everything with a grain of salt. We do appreciate it. But I'm welcoming back. I can't wait till we start this. I got my Bigfoot throw in the background. We have a great guest tonight. Was introduced to me by Miss Aida, who is another one of our fantastic guests, and she's like a sister from a different mister, so I love you. Mwah. Thank you for introducing me to our guest, Elhoim Leafar, and he is a wonderful human being out of the way of Venezuela and found his calling. But let's bring him in, and I'm going to welcome to the show. Elhoim, welcome to the broadcast. How are you?
Thank you. Very well, doing very well, very happy to stay here.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I just introduced everything to everybody. I did my disclaimer because you have to these days. But I introduced you because your roots really are the reason why you are doing what you're doing today, if I'm correct. So, yeah. So what we're going to do is, because some of our guests may not know, maybe some of our audience may not know who you are and what you do and how you got here. Let's give a bio about yourself. Let's go back to the roots and how you got to where you are right now. And this wonderful book, your latest book right there, Manifestation and Magic. It is 21 ritual spells and amulets for abundance, prosperity, and wealth. And who couldn't use abundance, prosperity, and wealth today? I could. I'm reading this book and going crazy with it because I'm thinking of all the good things I can get and do, and it's about time I'd like to manifest some good fortune and good luck. But go ahead, tell everybody about you and how you got to this point.
Okay, I come from Amazon, Venezuela. I born in there. I born very close to Orinoco River. I lived some years in the city of Caracas, the capital. My family are essentially healers, most of them. And after many years, I decided to move to the United States. I arrived here in 2015. In this, I made other books, but this book is a reflection of all the journey of all the travel that I did to come here. Is all the process from the moment that I put my first feet here after the plane. I arrived in New York. It's true with $15 in the pocket because I really don't have more money. When I come without lawyers. I come without friends, without colleagues. I really don't know anyone. I don't know the language when I come. Um, Being here, I started to take classes. I started to sell amulets in the streets. I do readings home by home, door by door for years. 2 years ago, I started to learn English. And these last 2 years, I was writing this book because I become a little popular with in New York. The owner stores, they call me to do cleansings and rituals in the places, in the locals, to bring more customers and more stuff. This works very well, so I take all of these things that I know, that I say to them many times, oh, try to do this in your store, try to make this ritual in your home, try to prepare this bath that you can use with your family, this kind of thing. I try to put all of this right down and make the whole book based on that.
It's fascinating, the whole journey, and then you start off. It's really interesting because this is what this is a little bit about. You're starting off with basically nothing or the unknown. And what I love about in the book, what you talk about is how to understand and take what you've learned, to unlearn it, to really learn again. And you walk people hand by hand through this.
Yes, because if you are involved a little with this community, with the spiritual community, any community in the world is perfect because we are all humans.
Yeah.
So every community has something, some kind of weakness. In the spiritual community, that weakness is when we speak about the taboos of the money. Every time that we mention money, it's a lot of drama about it, it's the taboo about it, it's the bypass. It's this typical speech that I don't need money, I don't have money, but I don't need it because I'm spiritual. But you see all of these people struggling with money over and over. You see these people who write books, who make rituals, who cast spells for everyone else, and they are very popular. These people are struggling with money over and over. They are having troubles to pay the rent. They are having troubles to pay insurance. They are having troubles to pay the school shit for their children.
Right.
It's a lot of bypass in that part because every time that we mention money, is but I don't need it because I'm spiritual. I don't really need it. They say this over and over, but in the end of the day, you need it because whether it's true or not that we are here for a limited time in the physical world, we are here in a physical world, and the way of transaction in this world is the money. The money is the transaction that we have with credit cards, with bitcoins, whatever is the method that you prefer to use, is money.
Right.
So it's better have it in your side than have it like an enemy and see it like an enemy. And we grow up in a society that is very traumatized about money because our fathers and our grandpas, they come from the Second War, they come from the First War. My grandpa come from Turkey. From Turkey, he escaped and go to Venezuela. Venezuela was practically different. So we listen over and over that money is bad, money is wrong, money is just for millionaires. If you don't born millionaire, you never will have money in your life. Money is so hard to have. Money corrupt people. People who has money don't have friends, or they don't have love in their lives. We create all of this story that, oh, this person is millionaire, they have airplanes, they have mansion, they live very well, but probably they are so happy. Maybe it's true, but maybe it's not. Maybe not all the people who's millionaire are happy. But
right.
We really try to antagonize them because they have something that most of the people don't have. And we're starting to see money like the enemy, money corrupt people. For example, I exercise that I do with my clients is remember when they were child, all the interaction that they has about money with their families. And something that everybody repeat to me, but I don't have the opportunity to put that in the book, was every time that I make this question, people remind me, oh, when I was children, I remember every time that I go to the store or to the kiosk, my mom tell me when I come back from buy the bread or something, oh, wash your hands because the money is dirty.
Yeah.
And has germs and virus and whatever. You don't know who takes the money before you, so wash your hands because the money is dirty. And we grow up repeating that money is dirty, money is nasty, money is disgusting. We say that to everyone else. And when we have children, we say the same, oh, wash your hands after you take the money because money is dirty. So we continue saying that money that should be your ally or friend is our enemy. We don't say, oh, wash your hands because you come from the street. No, wash your hands because you take the money and money is dirty. That's what we say. So we continue putting money outside. And in magic and sorcery, we always say that when we are doing love spells, oh, love is energy. When we are doing protection spells, oh, this is energy. Your aura is energy. Your chakras is energy. All of this is energy. But when we speak about money, immediately people turn their face like the enemy. Oh, you can speak about money because that's wrong. Speak about money, so wrong. But in the end of the day, money is just another way of energy. It's just a transaction. I mean, we are making transactions. I give you something, you give me something in change for the same value or for a different value, but you give me something. I don't end with empty hands in the end of the day because I'm receiving something in change. And is that what we do with money magic? We are trying to balance a situation. Oh, I'm not receiving money for this reason, or I am having trouble with my job for this other reason. Let me try to look a way to fix this. How I can accommodate this situation in my favor, in my benefit, how I can fix this, or how I can move this energy to find a better job. It's what we do in money magic. I just try to take it from a different perspective because many times people go with these witches and magicians and they pay a lot of money for spell works because they don't have a job, because they want to win the lottery, because they want to buy a house, because they want to sell something, because they need to move this energy. So what witches do is they receive the money, they make the work, they cast the spell, they help you to do the spell work, and after that they continue struggling with money. They receive lots of money over and over for all the rituals that they do, but they continue struggling with that. So it's weird, and I feel it very weird that we are always saying to people, use this amulet, craft this spell in that way you don't go to have problems with money never. But we continue struggling with that. So it's like a little weird lie that we have there. Because many times you looks like the real witches, they are not really believing what they are saying. So I just try to change the perspective. So if you are an energy worker, if you are a magician, if you are a witch, if you are new in this path, so let me teach you that all of these are lies. You can have money and you can have money in your life and continue being a good person. You can be a millionaire and continue being a decent person. Money don't go to corrupt you. If you are corrupt, it's not for the money, it's for another reason. But it's not for the money. Because money is energy and money is something that we use for transactions. If you are a good person and you have a lot of money, you can help your loved ones. You can help your family, you can help your mom, you can help your sister, your friends, your colleagues. You can support the foundations that you like it. But if you don't have money, you can't do anything of that. So if I want to help support the people that I love, first of all, I need to be an abundant person, and financially abundant person, a prosperous person, because if I don't have it in my side, I can put it in your side too.
Yeah, something that was very interesting in there when you were talking about the money and the evilness and
it's an evil.
Well, it's I personally don't think money is the root to evil, but money I don't think is evil.
Compromised in many ways.
Right.
Especially if it's a weak person, because this is a thing that we have with the bypass. Many times we are around for people who are not weak, but they have this very bad thoughts in their mind, but they need to be humble. They try to stay humble because they don't have the resources to be themselves. So when they finally have money, they win the lottery or something, they show a different face.
Right.
I see that 2 times. I had the opportunity to meet 2 persons in my country who win the lottery. One of them was one of the most kind persons that I know. And when he and his family win the lottery, they turn themselves in horrible people. But I had the opportunity to meet this another person, my friend Cici in Venezuela. She won the lottery. She won a very big prize in that moment. I'm telling you, like 12 or 13 years ago, she won a very big prize. Like telling you this moment that you win like $1 million was a very big amount of money. And she won the money, and she continued being the same person. And this was like 13 years ago, and she continued being the same person. She continued being kind, she continued being humble, she continued going to the store for themselves. Don't always change the people, just push some things that are in there.
Right. It's very interesting. One of the things that I was in your book, you're reading about, when you're talking about the whole concept of what people think money's dirty, and it is. Don't get me wrong, it's very dirty. The things that people do with it are just insane.
Yes.
And being a New York City person like yourself, yeah, it gets a little
I
bit.
don't pay anything in cash. Anything.
Well,
I have my card for everything.
Yeah, I still cash is king in my book. I don't want everybody to know what you have, and sometimes those cards don't work. But you're in your book, the way you were speaking about how people were speaking about money, it reminds me of there's a point in, I forgot, it was page 60 something, 62, 64. The four gods you must avoid, and it reminded me of that negative. That you were talking about, like maybe they're avoiding those four gods. I think money serves a purpose. Money, and it's not the abundance of it. It's what you do with it thereafter. If you disregard the goodness that can come from it, and you just go on a spending spree, and you don't care about anybody, drinking, smoking, drugs, whatever. Yeah, money can be to that point. But I think what your book is in the manifestation of abundance and wealth, what you're trying to do is give yourself a vehicle to have something in place so that you don't have to struggle like the rest. You may not have as billions or millions, but you have enough to say, we have a roof over our head. We have, if a bill comes in, we can pay it. And I think that's one of the ways to kind of start out. People start out with like, I want to hit the lottery and whatever. I could tell you, I said it to my wife, and I said it to other people. I said, if I won the lottery, if I won the Powerball Mega Millions, no one would know. And my wife's like, you wouldn't tell me? I said, no, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't tell you. And the reason why is money brings out the nastiness and negativity in so many people. What I would do is I would put things in place so that there was a stream coming in and to make people happy, but I would never tell them, by the way, you're worth $100 million, because the minute that happens, I've seen it too many times. It starts filling your head, and what can I buy? Oh, I don't need this guy anymore. I don't need, and you will literally throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they say, because you're wild with money. So, but besides the manifestation, getting back to your history, I've known, well, and maybe I've been misknown, but is there a negative connotation from Venezuela and your country about what your family has practiced throughout the years? And have you had any negativity from it, or?
That depends of the place. I work in Amazon. So in Amazon, what you see is normally tribes. Is most of the people is pagans. I mean, we have some tribes who are in some way Catholic, but
right.
They don't really believe it. They do it just because it's the thing that they used to, but it's not something that they really practice. But most of the tribes are pagans, and we continue in 2021. We continue discovering tribes who are hiding in Amazon, and they continue believing in very old energies and very old spirits.
Right.
Most of the tribes are pagans. Paganism is very related with magic. So it's a lot about spiritism, about clairvoyance. They have these snakes are gods. We have trees who are gods. You can't touch the tree or walk around because you offend the god. That kind of things. After some time, I moved to the city. The city was totally different. When I moved to the city, to the capital of Venezuela in Caracas,
right,
that was a different contrast. When I was there, I remember my mom sitting me down. You can speak about these things. You can continue dressing in this way. You can continue speaking in this language. You can. Was a very big list of things that I can do it. Because now we were in the city and we need to act different. And in the city, most of the people is Catholic, or they see themselves like Catholic, and it's churches in every corner.
Right.
The first years, I remember that my mom in some way struggled with the thing because she was like dressing very normal, pretty well, but in home she has all of these altars and she turned herself in the healer with all of these dresses and the snakes and stuff. But in the street is something that you don't mention.
Yeah.
With the years, with all of this Afro-Caribbean stuff coming out very fast, she initiated her in different of these paths. She initiated in Umbanda, she initiated in Lukumi, and after her, we were initiate too in the traditions. And when that happens, in that moment was a very nice moment because in Venezuela, all of this movement was coming out. So we were part of that movement. So I don't feel or I don't see that discrimination or something coming to me. But I remember that the people before me, the elders of the tradition, they speak very bad about it because they come from a different time.
Right. The reason why I'm saying it is if you're, I know in the past we'll call them the Crusades. We'll just mention Crusades in general. The Catholic religion coming and being very pervasive in a lot of different cultures and in many places forcing the religion on people, but people accepting it over years. And within it does say you're not supposed to look to witches or witchcraft or blah, 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 in there. But the reason why I think so people take that really seriously and if you're practicing this type, well, you're bad. You're not a believer of Christianity, but I do believe that you can have a real solid religious background and still practice this. One of the things that I always point out is that when, in my opinion, when God created man, and man is a universal word I'm using for men and women, the man as mankind. I don't want anybody getting into that junk that's out there, okay? I don't play that game. But when he created man in his image, he gave everybody an ability to do things similar to what God does, and you get your sixth sense or the third eye right here, and you are able to do the manifestation that we're talking about here, manifestation of magic. It's part of the universe, and I love that you walked us through this whole thing. I loved how you opened this book with you're here on Earth, but Earth is just part of the moon, and the moon and the Earth work together, but that's bigger when there's the sun, and then there's the galaxy, and then there's black holes. We're all connected. And so, I mean, that's what people that give you, I guess, were giving your elders a hard time didn't get. So
yeah. The thing with the Afro-Caribbean traditions is because they come from a different place. They were hiding for so much time. So when they come out, was a very difficult time because they come out in the cities. In Caracas, I mean, you travel to Argentina, you travel to Colombia, you travel to the United States, continue being a little hiding in some way. But from where I come, this is the thing. In Amazon, we grow up with this system of belief that is very open. That is, we have so many tribes and we have so many people. And everybody speaks so many different languages at the same time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are a neighbor of another tribe and all the tribe are just 5 persons.
Yeah.
But they are the last 5 persons of that tribe, and they just speak their own language, and they don't want anyone else speak their language, and they are very close, but we are respectful with that. So the thing that they teach us when we are children is the universe, God, goddess, how name you prefer to put in there, just was a essence and manifest in many ways for different countries, for different places, from different rivers, and we essence in that place of manifestation. We descend from them in some way. So when in my mindset, what they teach me was every time that someone comes to tell you, and they will tell you this, your religion is different to mine. I have a different God, or my God is the one, and yours is a lie. What they are telling to you is, this is my religion that is different to you, but I has a God like you, and all gods come from the same source. It's just that what they are saying. So when I see all the religion from that mindset, it's very nice because I don't struggle with these fights. When people come to tell me, oh, I am Christian, I am Jewish, I am Muslim, that's okay. We are all in the same universe, and
Yep.
all the gods come from the same universe. They are just different aspects of the same universe in the end, and we are in the same earth, and that's the proof of that.
Yeah, it's spot on, and you do a beautiful job in the book. And also, getting back to the you have another book,
Yes.
book prior to this, and what said to you, I want to manifest, I want to write a book about manifestation and magic and amulets and abundance? Because, you know, if you think about it, first of all, I love the fact you limited it, because there's more than 21 rituals and spells you can do.
Yes.
You know, but it doesn't take, it's a great starter piece for somebody. I think it's essential for people to have in their library. But what I love is the use of amulets and the, you know, these rituals. Why now? Was it because of what's going on in the world, or did you get an inner calling?
Was a mix of many feelings, because the first one, the book that I made before, The Magical Art of Crafting Charm Bags, that was a book on mojo bags and grigri, that's some kind of amulet. I was coming from Venezuela, and I don't speak English in that moment when I come. And I don't have any money. So I was selling amulets in Union Square in Manhattan. I was selling these charm bags in the night in there and doing readings and everything in Spanish, because I didn't speak English in that moment. But I have so many recipes, because all my life this was my kind of magic. Because again, in Amazon,
Right.
we have many tourists, and tourists come from different parts of the world. And we sell this some kind of charms that we call saquitos in there. And every time that a tourist come from every country, they recognize the amulet like something from there. When people come from New Orleans or from Salem, from United States, from France, from Africa, people say, "Oh, this is a grigri, this is a charm bag, this is a mojo, this is a bag." They put different names on that. So I just associate, oh, this is something that everyone in the different, all religions in different countries, they have it. So it's something that everybody can relate. So I just, in some way, train myself on that. I try to create all kinds of recipes, all kinds of formulas, all kinds of rituals related with charm bags. And I practice that kind of magic all my life. When I come here, that was something easy to do. And it has all the recipes. So I was trying to do a book. I present two different proposals to the publisher, and they give me, oh, we can do the book on charm bags. We really like it. We really, it's something different. It's not another book like this one in the market, also from someone who come from there. It's not an American person speaking about this tribal topic. It's someone who is come from South America, who come from the Caribbean, who come from this family. He is, you know, it's like when you read a book about voodoo from a black person. It's totally
Right.
history. So I made the book, and in that moment, when I was doing the book in my laptop, I continued struggling with money. The thing is that I was doing all of this. I was doing the book. I was selling charm bags. I was doing readings. All of this totally in Spanish. Actually, I wrote all the book in Spanish and translate later to English with the computer to send to my editor.
Right.
But at the same time, I think that the things was evolving. Everything was moving very forward. With the time I have the money to rent an apartment, to rent with my partner to rent a car, pay for classes of English, do all of this. So I see how all of this was evolving, and I continued doing exactly the same job. I was doing readings, I was selling charm bags, I was doing the same. People are starting to call me to do readings in their stores. People are starting to call me to do cleanses in the stores, or they call me for a bar, for a club, for a restaurant, and they pay very well for these things. So I continue doing that job, and I continue speaking with them about money. But something that caused me some kind of conflict is every time that I am, when you are with a person out of the community and you speak about money magic, they understand very well. But when you are speaking about this with someone inside of the spiritual community, in the metaphysical community, in the moment that you put the word money in there, it's all of this, oh, it's corruption, it's bad, it's nasty, blah, 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 it's the devil, and blah, blah, blah. And makes people very greedy. All of this comes out. So I was struggling with these both sides, and I say, okay, I need to teach all of this. I teach to my clients who are very successful people. I need to teach all of this to witches who many times are older than me, But it's people who come from like I say, like my dad or my mother. They come from a different background, from a different history. These people grow up very traumatized from with grandpa from the Second War, stories from the First War, stories about how bad was the economy in that moment in the history. So they are traumatized about that, and every time that you are close to make something that looks like a mistake, they immediately comes, don't do that because that's a mistake. And they don't let you learn the lesson about the
Right.
mistake. They don't let you because they are very traumatized about that. And I say, okay, all of these persons in the metaphysical community, especially the leaders, who are very old people, they continue having this trauma. So someone need to work on that. So let me try to put all of this together. I read all of this together in a book. I sent to my publisher, and she never responds so fast in her life. Usually, she takes more time. And every time that I send a manuscript or something, she always takes some time. And this manuscript was approved for the editor and for the publisher, like immediately. They called me a week after that. I remember I speak about the manuscript in November of 2019. We don't have any idea about how will be 2020. And it was a strange moment because 2020 comes, and from one side we was telling inside of the conversations, this is a nice book that we can have in this moment because everybody is struggling with everything that is happening. Well, at the same time, factories, publishers, everybody was working slow for the same situation. So we put a little delay in the book for 2021, comes out now and it's doing very, very well. People like it, people is doing a lot of feedback about the book.
Right.
I listen, that is that quote that I say, something that I listen from at least 3 or 4 different persons who reach me, and they say, oh, this is the book that probably we was needing in 2020, but we are grateful that this come out because everybody, especially here in New York, people is selling their apartment, they are selling their locals, their business, they are struggling with money. So the book is a lot about the mindset. It's not just do the spell work. It's let me work with your mind. Let me see what is inside of your mind about money. Like this exercise that I do with them is try to write down everything that you think about money. Try to write down 11 or 21 things, depending of your time,
Right.
about money, and just write down what are the 21 or 11 thoughts that you have about money. Money is wrong, money is mad, money is evil, money is crazy, money is dirty, money is nasty. And after every line, write down why you think that about money. Money is wrong, why do you think that money is wrong? Money is nasty, why money is nasty? Money is good, why do you think that money is good? Give me the source of that thought. And many times you will write down, oh, I'm just repeating the pattern of beliefs
Right.
that I have from my
Uh,
mom or from my dad, because they repeat that to me over and over. Oh, money is dirty, money is nasty, money brings the bad things of the people, money corrupts you. In Venezuela, we have praying, say, God, please take me away of the money because money go to corrupt my soul.
right.
They teach us those prayings in the school very child, and they make us repeat that praying every morning in the school. So you grow up saying to your God, in Jewish or Catholic, Christian, Muslim, you repeat over and over every morning, please give me a way of money because money will corrupt my soul. So you repeat that over and over. And many times I see this with my eyes. It's not a story that someone told me. I see mothers saying to their children, oh, don't look work in this place because they pay very well, but they force people to do so many bad things for that money that's not good for your soul. So look work in this another place. Or for example, my partner don't have the opportunity to study some careers because in our country was if you study architecture or this kind of careers, this is conflicted because it's so much money involved in there. You can be in trouble because all of this money probably they are nasty people, they are involved with the mafia or something. So try to do understand
Right.
we have all of these gossips about money, but and it's weird when you come to the United States, it's totally different. People is like, oh, you need to try to look for the career that pay you more. In my country, it's try to study and waste 6 years of your life in the college for a career that don't go to pay you.
Right. You know, I'm reminded of what's going on with my grandmother, and she used to, you know, my grandfather worked really hard. He came from Russia to come here, and he was a plumber, and he went to night school. You know, I know the pathway. Um, and she was like, save your money, put it away, don't spend it, pinch every penny type of thing, because they grew up in a time period, like you're saying, which was tough. It was rough and it was tough right now. And I don't blame them for saying what they're saying, but you have to understand something, that, again, money is a tool to help you spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, to get through this end of the spectrum, this life, until the next phase. You can't take it. You can't take the money with you. It is only exists in this plane. So those, there are people that are so tight about it, like, they hoard it and they never spend anything, and they leave, they have tons of wealth or money and they live like paupers, and they're very nasty to each other. There are other people that are really super wealthy and they don't care about anybody either. It's just about me. And then you get a couple of people that ether in the between, where you have people like that are negatively affected by money, and then you get people that are positively affected, like, I'm going to give a certain portion to every year to X, or you can help people with it. Something I did today was I went out, and I'm not rich at all. I'm not even wealthy. I wish I were. I just had that mood. I bought something at a Subway, sandwich, not the Subway. And there was a guy there. He was delivering, and we struck up a conversation. He was ahead of me, but somehow I got ahead of him because I was done. It was really simple. And I paid for his food. And he's like, what are you doing that? I'm like, whatever, just pay it forward. And that's all it was. It was like, I don't know, there's something, enjoy it. Everybody likes, and the way I think of it is, as I'm not doing it to get anything out of it, except I would want to break like that. Even though I had the money, I would want to break like that. Right. So all I'm saying to him is enjoy it. Let it make your day. It's something positive. And if you can, pass it on to somebody else. And I think that's what you're talking about with this manifestation of magic. It's there. You have to know what you're doing and why, you have to, your book goes into moon phases, planets, sun sign, moon sign. I was reading mine, and it's spot on. It's really spot on. The clairvoyance. I'm a Cancer moon, so I'm a moon sign.
Yes.
I'm a moody SOB, so especially if I'm hungry. But the clairvoyance, the premonition, boom, spot on. And that's what I love about your book. And I'm thanking Miss Aida right now. Thank you for introducing us, because you are right in there with her in what she does, and it's a different attack. She's in one end of it, you're in another end, and it's a compliment to both of you. So what I love is when you talk about these amulets, and there's so many different ones. What is, let's get to a bear tax. What is an amulet that everyone should create or have for themselves? One amulet that's definitely an important part of it. And I'm not just talking about a crucifix, a Star of David. I don't even know what anything else would be, like an Om symbol.
No, nothing religious. The more easy and the most powerful way to consecrate it is because it's many amulets out there, because you can turn everything in amulet. You can take your smartphone and turn it in an amulet. You can consecrate everything. You can take just one key. Actually, I have this necklace that I have with me every time that I go out. This chain is a necklace, a golden leaf, and a rock. You can take a key, a very old key from your house.
Right.
And put that together. Can be in a little bag, or can be in where you put your clothes, with your birthday stone, depending of the country where you are, because there's so many books with so many information about which is your stone. But for example, Capricorn is onyx, so I always carry my onyx with me.
Right.
Take your birthstone, because it's immediately the amulet that literally grows up with you and born with you. It's the amulet that is consecrated for your energy and it's meant to work with your energy. So take the amulet, put in your altar next to the key, and try to put a glass with water very close. Just throw some salt around, not over the amulet, just around. Take the salt, can be the salt of your kitchen. You don't need to go to the Botanica and buy expensive salt for that. You can take that from the kitchen.
Regular salt, people.
Regular salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to pay extra for that. Put some salt around, put a glass of water, because that go to take all the bad energy from the amulet. Try to keep it in there like 2 or 3 days, and after that you can take it with you. And they get everywhere. The thing that this amulet does is the universe don't speak Spanish, English, any language. You can do all of these fancy spells in Latin. The universe don't care. The universe don't have a mouth. The universe don't speak in any language because don't have a mouth. The universe speaks in frequencies, in energy, in vibration, in vibes.
Right.
Recognize symbols. For that reason, in magic we use so many symbols. And a key is a symbol. When you see a key, you don't say that is for close. You say that is for open a door, that's for open a window, that's for open the car. You never say, oh, this key, that is for close. You don't say that. The universe recognizes that a key is for open things, for open paths, ways, houses, opportunities, works, job. So that's the key. Next to that, you have the stone that you previously purified with the salt and with the water. And that stone is connected with your energy. You put yourself in the altar, you put for yourself in the altar, in your house.
Right.
You are inside of your home. So the amulet recognizes your energy and recognizes that it's yours. You can give the amulet to someone else, and the amulet continue being yours for a long, long time. So this energy, this plus one, the key and the stone, will work very powerful together, because while you keep it together, they go to try to open every path for you with your energy. For that reason, you have the amulet. You just need the birthstone and you need the key. Just that. It's pretty easy. You don't need anything else. You can do it for yourself. You don't need any expensive oil. You don't need to craft anything very elaborated. You can do it. You can put some candles. You can put some incense. You can do it with the full moon if you want. But you don't really need it, because it's essentially magic and works very well. That's a thing that we have in magic. We many times overestimate things that are very easy magic, or because they don't look magical. For example, when my mom wants to protect the house because she has a nightmare or something, and she's a very nice clairvoyant, she really has a very good vision, she just takes salt from the kitchen and pepper, and she blends with her hands and put in the door. Just that, salt and pepper from the kitchen. She don't need to buy something very expensive. She don't need to, oh, this is salt that we take from Jerusalem. No, it's salt from the kitchen.
Yeah, people, there are people or people, I don't know if they're posing as a shaman or spiritual individuals, and it seems like they put a lot of this, oh, you have to buy this one, and I sell it. It's just, it's so very
convenient. So convenient. You need to buy this stone that conveniently I have it for you.
Yeah, I kind of have. Yeah, you've been in New York long enough to know the deal. Oh, I'm like, oh, magically you have special salt. But I always tell people, and I say it because of the purity level. Salt is salt. You can use it. I have packets of salt they give you out, and like when you get your lunch someplace, put those in your pocket.
Yeah.
Put extras in your pocket. Dump it in your desk at work. Put a little in your transporter, your car, whatever it is. Trust me, it's good to protect you with. But I prefer kosher salt because of the purity level and the requirements to make it. It is the purest as pure can be.
That's smart, and this is smart magic. That is very important, because a thing that I teach is always try to feel comfortable with the things that you do. For example, I know witches or practitioners who like to work with herbs and flowers, but when they find a spell with crystals, oh, I want to do it, but I need to do it. No, try to look another way. I mean, we have thousands of books out there. You can find a book with spells that is just with herbs or flowers, because some people just find comfortable with flowers. Some people find very comfortable with crystals. Some people feel very comfortable with herbs. I don't work too much with crystals. I have them like for collection because it looks very nice in the altar. And usually people give to me for gift because, oh, you're a witch, take these crystals. Oh, thank you, but I don't know how to work with that. I just recognize like 5 or 6 stones, just that. All of the rest is just in the altar doing the work that I don't know which work is, but apparently they're working very well. but I work better with herbs and with flowers and with things. I like to have my hands dirty in the patio. I work very well with that. I feel comfortable with that. I say the same to people. Try to look things that make you feel comfortable. Maybe you feel comfortable with incense. I know witches who do a really good job and they just work with candles and oils.
Right.
They do amazing jobs and they have lines of clients coming over and over because they want to repeat the same spells over and over. And these people just work with candles and with some oils or just with incense and these kind of things. Because if you feel comfortable with something, it's because your energy is reacting with that. This example that I put here is, for example, if you wake up in the morning and you want to listen jazz or rock, you put a station in your radio or in your Apple Music or in whatever app you use to listen music, you put that frequency. So you are moving in that frequency. If you don't want to listen rock, you don't put that frequency because you know that that will go to change your mode. You will feel uncomfortable. So when you are working with something, and this is vibing in your same way, this makes you feel comfortable. I work very well with herbs. I don't work very well with crystals, but some people don't like herbs. It's the contrary. This is about the frequencies. It's just try to, probably you have a frequency, just try to stay that frequency. Don't try to move if you don't feel comfortable moving out there. You can do it. You can go out of your comfort zone. But if you feel comfortable in this place, in this frequency, continue vibing in that frequency, and that go to work very well for you.
Right. I mean, let me get back to the to put me back on my own stream. What I love is, you know, the fact that you are correct about that, working with what works with you and what's in your best interest, you know, working wise. I love that fact where you can there are people that are just, I call it a calling or something. It brings you in, and I'm just a candle guy, or I'm just a crystal guy, because, you know, it gets really crazy every once in a while, you know, with this whole, like, well, I have to have crystals and I need this. I mean, it can be very overwhelming. I think you go to your calling. Is that really what it is? It's like, I like the fact that you like to get, you know, there's something about getting your hands dirty. We're missing that in life right now with all the computers and everybody's, you know, typing away. We need to be doing things with our hands. We need to be touching and feeling and holding each other's hands and stuff. There's an energy that comes from it. And I no doubt in my mind that your success with what you're doing and creating for clients and other people is because of the energy coming from you.
Because you need to feel comfortable with the things that you are doing, but also you need to believe in the things that you are doing. And sometimes we find in these books many times, especially are very complicated, ask you for so many things. Oh, you need the feeder of owl. And it's like, wow,
Right.
how I can find that? Yeah, but this is the best protection spell that you can do. How you can find that? I mean, it's very weird. So try to look elements that you has very close to you. I have this student. He's in Africa. He don't have a very prosperous life in this moment, but he's doing better now than 2 years ago. I'm teaching him practically via Facebook. Every time that he has connection, he was like, I want to do this spell, but I want to buy this book, but I want to do this, but I see these pictures about this, that, but I don't have it. Okay, easy. What do you have around you? Okay, I have these flowers and I have these two kind of herbs who grow in my patio. Okay, we can work with that. Okay, you have yarrow that you can use it for protection, you can use it for clairvoyance, you can burn like incense in the night so you can see spirits in the night. You have these other flowers that I don't remember in this moment how they call, but they are yellow flowers that grow in very in places with a lot of sand. You have this flower, you have this herb, we can work with that. You have a river close? No, I have the beach. Perfect. You have salt water. You don't have sweet water that we can use to conjure spirits. You have salt water that we can use for protection, that you can take water from there and try to wash your home, or trying to create a bath with that to create cleansing experience in your home. So we can work with that. We can work with the things that you have around. Which spices do you have in your kitchen? I just have salt. I have pepper. I have cinnamon. Okay, we can use this. We can use that, and we can use cinnamon for love or for call money. You can burn a cinnamon and pass around to call money too.
Yeah.
Stupid things that, because many times people is looking these spell words or these spell books because they are having troubles with money, with abundance in their life. So you make them spend a lot of money and they don't know what they are doing. That's a problem that I see many times. They really don't know what they are doing. They are spending a lot of money in the botanica. They buy a lot of stuff. I have clients who sometimes call me, oh, I am in the botanica. What they buy? Buy some oil and buy some incense and some candles. But they have everything. Yeah, buy 2 bottles of oil and some incense and you don't need anything else. They have this statue, you don't need it. You don't buy the candles, you don't need anything else.
Yeah,
If you want it, you can do it. If you feel more comfortable, you can do it. I mean, you want to spend a little more, do it.
And
You don't need it.
you know, this is what I love about this book, because and what you're teaching everybody is you start small, people. Start small. Start with what you have.
Close.
Right. You have what you have close, what you can get, what you can acquire, and then work with that. And as you start manifesting, first of all, it's a practice point to practice to get better at what you're doing with the visualization. You know, you talk about meditation, visualization, you're practicing with what you have. As things start to manifest, you come to, then you're maybe you get more money and you can acquire more things like, oh, I'm going to get this incense because several of the things, you know. So this is what I love, people, right there. This is the book. It's beautiful. It's on Amazon. It's in bookstores, I believe, too.
Yes.
So, in New York City, right? And
in the country, actually.
Around the country. Get it. It's an easy read, easy to follow, and it's almost the equivalent of having a handhold through the process. And before we run out of time, if people that are listening to this want to get in touch with you, we're going to put some information into the description, but let them know, how can people contact you for a reading, for amulet?
Look for my name in Twitter and Instagram, in Facebook, wherever you are. I am everywhere except on TikTok because that's for another generation. That's not for me. I am very old for that. But I am in Twitter. You can chat with me. I am on Instagram. I'm always trying to post things in there.
Right.
I'm taking classes online of patterns of psychology from Harvard. So every time I'm trying to post things about positive psychology and trauma abusers and trauma survivors in my Instagram. So it's a blend between that and magic. So it can be confusing, but yeah, it's me. It's the same person. Essentially in there. Instagram and Twitter is where I am most of the time. My book is available everywhere. I was today in 3 different stores in New York that I was cashing around, and I find the book was in Barnes & Noble and in different independent places.
Right, and I just put up your website to go directly to your website as well. That's a great way to reach you for readings. It's a beautiful website, and it comes in English and Espanol. Of course, as I told Elhoim beforehand, my Spanish is, even though I go back to 3rd century Spain on one side of the family, it's rooted in New York City Spanish that will get you smacked or into a fight. But other than that,
Spanish is complicated. Spanish is really, I understand how complicated it is. I understand that when I started to learn English 2 years ago, I was like, wow, but this is, I mean, when you listen to people speaking Spanish, we speak very fast because we put this amount of words that you in English just put in something like this.
Right.
You 3 words and you have all the information. And for us process that same information, we need all of these words at the same time. So it's very chaotic.
Yeah, you know, it's complex. I was telling them I have an older child, and she literally did her best to. She was thrown into Spanish 2. Here's the problem. She never had Spanish 1. So when she came to me and my wife and we were saying, oh, just say things that, you know, and we were throwing curse words at her. She goes, I can't say that, you know. But she really worked her butt off. And She did really good. I'm very proud of her for picking it up. Beats my Spanish, so I'm gonna have to grab her if we go to Venezuela or some other or even Spain eventually. But what I love the fact, I know you're on Facebook. I know you're on all these other platforms. It's basically your name. You use your name straight
Yeah.
up what it is, so that you can contact you. But I love the fact when people come to you. Well, when people come to you for help, and that's basically what they're doing. They come to you for a reading, like a future reading. They come to you for amulets. They come to you for spells.
If the person knows which is the problem, that many times they don't really know, they have an idea.
Right.
I can craft an amulet. They need to give me a piece of hair or something very personal and their name, and I try to craft a special amulet for them, depending on the situation, for job, for money, for love, for things about relationship. Because I don't have better communication with my partner. But I think that we are happy, so I don't want to do a love spell. Let me do a charm back for communication. So let the communication flow in the home. These kind of things. Most of the time, they really don't know which is the problem, so they need a reading because they come and they are having anxiety and depression, and my job is doing bad, and my partner is doing bad, and everything in home is bad. So if you see that all of these patterns are happening, it's because you are reflecting something in there. So not always is a course. Many times they go, oh, I have a course, and many times it's not. I just try to catch what is happening there, maybe something very, very small, something simple, and but most of the times they need a reading before.
Yeah, it's very interesting. On the other end, when we do a ghost investigation, you'll be surprised how many people. Oh, it's demonic, and I'm like, and I shake my head because and I know that if it's demonic, they're not playing games.
Exactly.
It gets really bad really fast. It's not just like doors opening or cabinets. It's real bad. So most of the time you have just that negativity that you have. Let's say you had a bad job and you bring the negativity home, or you go to a party and you bring the negativity back with you, the attachment. Negativity breeds more negativity quicker than abundance breeds abundance, in my opinion.
Yes.
And that's because it's like a cancer. So I love the fact that, when they come to you, I'm cursed. And you're like, whoa, hold on. Let me go.
It's very common that people say, oh, everything in my life is doing bad because I am cursed. Oh, okay, well, how much time this has? Oh, I have 2 years in this way, so this is not a course. This course don't take 2 years.
Right.
So maybe you are reflecting. That's happened. Like you can manifest good things, you can manifest bad things, and many times we have very bad things inside of our minds that are reflecting out there. Maybe something spiritual too, sometimes, just sometimes, but it's very weird a case that is something really demonic, really evil, is really weird. I have the opportunity to see them. I am grateful for that, but for the people who was the victim. But I have that experience. I have some stories that I can tell. Most of the things for my mom, because she works with this kind of things most than me. And I know that these things turn bad very fast. So fast that people really, really don't have time to think, oh, is this a course? You just see things happening from one day to another.
Yeah.
And they're starting to feel depressed. They're starting to feel like someone is following them everywhere. They're starting to see shadows in their home. They're starting to feel sick. And everybody at home is starting to feel sick too. And it's something very fast.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But I love the fact that with your book, you can create amulets that will protect you from these things. And you can create amulets that not only will just protect you, but another amulet that will, a little prosperity never hurt anybody.
Exactly.
So I just think it's fantastic. I can't thank you enough. I mean, this time has flown right now for this.
Yes, it was very fast.
You know what? I've been on interviews with people, and it's just like, is it over? And it's like, it's like we're in 3 minutes, But I mean, we could get you back on. But what I'd love to do something, get you back on, get a lot of others that are in your community and on the with the Latin roots, the Spanish roots in there, and maybe have like a forum. And I think we'll have a thing on the outside. We'll talk to you, maybe Miss Aida, and get like a round table for just this subject matter, and see the different perspective from the Spanish perspective versus the African perspective versus even the Jewish perspective has manifestation and magic more so than other religious ends of things. I don't think the Christian side has as much manifestation or magic because it's goes against the rules. But in Hinduism, in shamanism, Buddhism, Taoism, there is your positive manifestation breeds more positive. It's karmatic. You mentioned karma there. But this is a wonderful book. It's from Wiser Books, and this is the latest version of it. Next time we meet, because we're living in the same city, I'm going to get you to give me your autograph on one of those, because, and I have it. But I can't thank you enough. And, keep doing what you're doing. I really do appreciate it. And when we need someone who manifests, or we need someone who's looking for something local for cleansings and manifestation. And I'm like, I know now who to point to. I have a couple people now, but welcome to the wonderful world, and I appreciate it. So thanks for coming in.
Thanks to you for the time.
Oh, bless you. And we'll get you back too. I want to do a little bit more promotion next time, and I apologize about that to everybody.
No worries.
Life has a really crazy last 2 months of my life have just been off the chart crazy. Like Miss Aida alone is, I'm sorry, it'll be done by the end of this tonight or tomorrow. Just gotta apologize. I don't want to get her mad. But it's a pleasure, and I think this is a beautiful, it's not only the first meeting, but a beautiful friendship. So welcome to our family, and you're back here anytime you want to come back on. So, and parting thoughts, do you have like a parting, something you can, bestow upon our audience before we go?
Stay safe, stay well, be kind with everyone else. I always repeat, don't care what people is saying about you, just continue in you. You are better than the people. Just continue in you, just be kind with everyone else. Sometimes people will put you in the limit and will force you to be the villain. You continue in yourself, you continue being kind.
That is great words right there. Thank you. You've been listening to Bryan Bowden, Elhoim Leafar, on NoBoBuMe, Nobody But Me. Please check us out. We're also going to be doing some more stuff in the Goblin universe with my buddy and partner in crime, Ron, the Crypto Guru Murphy. So check us out. And everybody, we wish you a blessed night. Good night, everyone.
Good night.